What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Bubba Speed Career Mode in MotoGP 20, and we are going to the penultimate race of the Moto2 season, as of course Bubba Speed is the world champion. He has just under 100 points of a lead over Schroeder now after a tough but fun performance in Phillip Island. Obviously, if you haven't seen that video, I recommend you do. But what I'm doing right now is, because we've already won the championship, we're just going to try to kind of challenge Bubba Speed, see what he can do from starting in the last position. And we are heading to a track that I don't really like that much. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Sepang has never really been my cup of tea. Over the years, it's been worse and worse because it's just becoming a death trap, essentially. But I don't know. There's just something about the flow of the track that isn't really my cup of tea. That said, we're going to go out there, we're going to try to win, starting in 31st position. It is a very long track, so it's going to be, I think, 5 laps. We're going to run with hard tires, because a track like this is definitely going to beat down your tires. There's actually a lot of long, looping corners, so you do, I think, need to conserve your tires well. One thing I want to mention once again is that I have changed my strategy from starting on Power 2 and then dropping down to Power 1 as time goes on. I'm just starting in Power 1. I'm going to go the entire race with Power 1 unless I need that extra little boost of power at the very end of the race. I'm going to save it for the end as opposed to starting off with it. I feel like that allows me to start off with a much lighter bike as opposed to having to fill the tank to the very limit. So that usually makes the bike really hard to ride in the first few laps, and it kind of causes me to, even if I'm like the fastest guy on track in qualifying, I do tend to lose a few positions and kind of struggle early on. And it's kind of like, you know, what you gain in a power boost, you lose because of the weight of the bike. So it really isn't worth it at all. And I'm trying this strategy out, and I do believe it's probably going to be a winning strategy. I wanted to try out Power 2 early on just to kind of see how it would go, but to be fair, it was a failure from, not really a failure, it's just, it isn't ideal at all. So yeah, you know, lesson learned, you move on and you improve. Hopefully that'll be a big thing for us going up to MotoGP next season on the KTM. We're gonna be teammates with Espargaro and Binder, so it's gonna be an interesting little team there, and hopefully one that can bring at least a few wins, as we get a penalty, 0.209, which isn't terrible. You know, it's only 2/10, but of course on a track where I don't really like that much, it could be very costly. But at the end of the day, we are already the champions, so even if we don't win, it doesn't really matter. It's just I want to at least win one race, starting from last position. That would be awesome in my opinion, because it would just kind of show a certain level of dominance. And realistically, like, one of my biggest issues is that when I'm still battling for championships, I don't know what it is. Like, MotoGP is the only game where I feel any kind of pressure. I think it's because I'm recording. Like, if it was just me playing for myself, then I wouldn't be too upset about it. I would just like restart if I want to or something like that. But recording, I don't restart very often. I only restart if something happens to where I don't like what the game did. Like if the game has somebody go flying into me, which to be fair I do to other people, but like if not online obviously, but against the AI every once in a while I do it, or more than every once in a while, but it happens. But if it's like just a regular race incident, or if it's my fault, then I will not restart. But so for the most part, I don't restart, but, you know, occasionally I do, and if I was playing for myself, then I probably would do it more often. But I'm not really a restart kind of guy, so I want to give you guys the most entertaining series possible, and I think the difficulty is definitely a little bit too low. I will be raising it a little bit in MotoGP once we get to MotoGP, but it's going to be interesting to see what I can actually do with those bikes, because that's going to be a whole different ball game. Like, with Moto3, I struggled a bit. Moto2, I really, really love the gameplay on these bikes. I think it's arguably the most fun I've had playing a MotoGP game in a long time. Just the physics and the way everything works with the Moto2 is just, you know, I don't know. It's just, it feels perfect for my style and my kind of gameplay, my style of gameplay. So I really enjoyed it. We'll see what happens with MotoGP. It's going to be a lot more difficult, I believe. Easier to crash, obviously a lot more power. So everything is just going to be very different, and it's going to be an interesting little thing. But we're already up to 3rd position. Thomas Luthi, and I gotta say, I've mentioned this, I think maybe in the last video or the video before that. Like, it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened with Thomas Luthi if I hadn't crashed him out so many times early on. I think he probably would have been a guy that can compete for the title. Obviously, his teammate is Marcel Schroeder, who was competing for the title for the most part of the season. I mean, obviously he ended up being second. He may still lose second position. I don't know about where third is, but I mean, realistically, he was the most competitive guy as long as the championship was still somewhat open. So the bike is definitely good enough. It's just a matter of could Thomas Luthi maintain a certain consistency, and he wasn't really able to because we crashed him out early on quite a few times, and never on purpose, but it happened, and I do apologize to Tomas. But he's looking pretty good. Like right now, he's leading. He's got a decent little gap over third. Obviously, we're on his ass right now, but I think we're gonna pass him. I think we will win this race. It's just, you know, can we do it without getting a penalty? Because if we get another penalty, then that's gonna make things a lot more difficult. I do believe that we can do it for sure. Thomas Luthi, man, like he's a guy like it's kind of weird to see him in Moto 2 because if you think about what Moto 2 and the 250s in the old days, and I guess not really counting the 125s, that's like the really young guys. But if you look at Moto 2 and 250s, it's usually guys who are up and coming, heading up to MotoGP. Whereas Thomas Luthi, he's been there and he's done it. He didn't do that well in MotoGP, but he was in MotoGP, and I mean he's a very experienced rider. He knows what it takes to be up there. He just doesn't quite have what it takes to be up there. So it's interesting to see him in Moto 2. I would think that he would be pretty competitive in Moto 2. I know he's not leading the championship. I'm not gonna act like I've watched a lot of the Moto 2 races because unfortunately I work during Moto 2, and I can sneak watching MotoGP, but I can't really sneak watching two different races. So it is what it is. But I do. Oh, Thomas Luthi almost crashing out right there. But I don't know. It's just like it's kind of interesting because like the bike is definitely good. The rider should be good. So I don't know. It's kind of weird that he's not more competitive for the title. But I guess it's just kind of like when he's battling against guys that are future factory riders in MotoGP, whereas he's past his prime first of all, and his prime was never that high, I guess you could say anyway. So we'll see what he can do with the rest of his career. But right now he's winning this race. He's actually in a nice little battle here with Bubba. I mean, we're going back and forth. There's been some contact. Bubba is going to run a little bit wide through here, but he actually came out of there pretty nicely. He should get a nice drive coming out of it too. Thomas Luthi does come out of it better, but that gives Bubba the opportunity to draft him, and it's going to be bye-bye Thomas going into the first corner. See if Bubba can actually put together a lead, because that's actually pretty damn important. What? Baldassarri? What happened to Luthi? Did we crash out Luthi? I didn't even notice. Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice. I was looking outside my door, and Thomas Luthi disappeared. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. Alright, anyway, so that's the thing. Alright, yeah, Bubba is looking good now. Thomas Luthi is gone. No, wait, it's right there. Alright, either my brain is mush or the game is mush. I don't know which one it is, but either way, it's something weird is happening. That is Thomas Luthi right there. So I don't know what the hell the game is talking about. I thought it said Baldassarri second. But whatever, alright. Thomas Luthi takes back first position. He is not going to sit here and just take it up the ass. He's going to try to make it a fight. He's going to try to win this race. Try to get some honor, especially because, like, the rivalry he had with Bubba all season long, that's going to push him to try to do everything he can to win this race. As Bubba uses a little bit of a dirty tactic there. Yeah, you see? Okay, I don't know. I guess it's... Alright, whatever. Baldassarri's third. That's all that matters, is that Thomas Luthi is in second, not in first. He's probably going to pass us coming out of this. Actually, no. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer and was going to get a better drive coming out of the corner, considering we kind of fucked up going in and out of the corner. But we were able to maintain a nice little pace right there. And I think if we can just do our thing for this last lap, then we should be fine. Because, I mean, like, this is the part of the track where I usually lose a little bit of ground. Like, I'm really bad at this corner. I actually come out of this one. Coming out of it pretty nicely that time. I don't think we're going to lose too much. We have a 1.3 second gap. So he really pulled away big time right there. I think that bobble we made him have probably cost him quite a bit. So as always, Thomas Luthi just gets out bullied essentially by Bubba Speed. Because Bubba, let me tell you, man, between drinking moonshine and racing motorcycles, he is not afraid to get his hands dirty and get some blood on his fucking hands. So he's gonna go after people, and Thomas Luthi is apparently his main victim. So Bubba's not worried about being nice. But Luthi right now, second position. Let's see if he can do anything. He gained about 4/10 in that last little sector right there. So there is a chance that he can get back into this race and catch up to Bubba, who is starting to feel a little bit of tire wear. I mean, as you can see in the meter, it's not that much. They're both still above halfway consumed, but for the most part, we're looking good. 1.235, so we pulled another 3/10 away. So we're looking good. We're definitely looking good. Unless we get a penalty or crash, or make a huge mistake, or we go really wide and hit the gravel or the dirt or the grass, then we should be fine here, which would actually be a nice win, because I don't usually win here. No matter what the game is, no matter what the situation is, I don't usually win here. So it would definitely be a nice result to have. Thomas Luthi gets passed by Luca Marini. And yeah, we have a 2.1 second gap now. This is over unless we have something that's just a tragic mistake. I'm feeling pretty confident as we go into this left-hander, which has given me so many problems before, but we actually come out of it really nice. Come out of it a little bit too wide. A little bit too wide, so we don't quite get the power coming out of it as probably our opponents did. But it doesn't matter because we're so far ahead. We can just kind of race our race. And that's always been a big thing for me, is obviously in real life using the correct lines is extremely important, but I feel like in the video games, because the AI is always programmed to pretty much be perfect on the line, sometimes if you just follow the line, you're not quite going to be fast enough. But if you kind of do your own thing, exploit the game's physics a little bit, go offline, then you are going to have a little bit more pace. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but that's just kind of something I've always felt a little bit. Obviously, in real life, it's a very different thing, because this is still a video game. Let's not get it twisted. This is not real life. As Bubba Speed is about to cross the line for the final time in Sepang, and is going to get a very important win here, because this is something that can really push him mentally. You know what I mean? Like something that's like, listen, had the fastest lap time by far, won on a track that is not favorable to Bubba Speed. That could definitely be a nice momentum booster going into the MotoGP season. Obviously, it doesn't really mean too much, because it's you're going to a different class with the best riders in the world, with the fastest bikes in the world. So it's going to be a very different thing, but it's still something that could really push you to feeling really confident. As Marcel Schroeder, yeah, he's going to finish second. There's no way in hell that he's going to lose 50 points in one race. It's not even possible. So, or 60 points in one race, not even possible. So it is what it is for Mr. Schroeder. But Bubba Speed, once again, winning another race. That's why I don't know how many he's won this season. I think probably 7 or 8. I don't want to shoot a number that's too high. I don't want to shoot a number that's too low. Definitely, we had a spell where we won like 4 in a row. Maybe actually we had two different spells where we won 4 in a row or 3 in a row at least. So Bubba definitely has looked good all season long. He's been very consistent. He's had some bad performances. Silverstone comes to mind, but other than that, pretty much all very, very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this performance right there from Bubba Speed. And I hope you guys will tune in for the season finale as we head to Valencia to see what Bubba Speed can do in his final race in the Moto2 World Championships. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.